Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, Swamp Swimmer, and with me today, our resident rules expert and all-around pain in the ass to play, Phil. How you doing, Phil?
Oh, I'm fine. Good to see the PTSD I have given you is not shying away in the slightest, Henry.
I'm in shock. Thank you for jumping on. I asked literally everyone if they'd come on and do this battle report with me, and you are my last ask, and here you are. So,
I mean, that does sound about right. Yep, I can't imagine I would be higher than at least 15th place in battle reports. I mean, getting a message from like, Phil, you gonna jump on for a battle report with me tonight? I'm like, last spoken to Kenyon after he was traumatized the last time I played. Yeah, okay. Wildly interesting.
It's all good. It's all good. Phil, I ask everyone who's on the channel, what is your Warhammer story? Give us a little blurb of when you started, what armies you played. What's your favorite army? I want to know that too.
Okay, so I started playing in the middle of 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy.
Okay.
I went into a Games Workshop thinking it was a GameStop, and on my anniversary with my wife, and we were very, very surprised by what we found, which was not video games. We left with a Isle of Blood set. My wife played High Elves for a little bit. I played the Rats. I hated the Rats.
Yeah.
And immediately went to Dwarves. And the Dwarves got me the nickname the Villain of the Mid-Atlantic, because I shot everything repeatedly. And then, no, it's always, Ken, you know, I've always had a villain arc. It's just never ended yet. The arc is still ongoing.
It's continuing. It's a continuing villain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I played all of the remainder of 8th edition before it died. I just kept shooting cannons at things, and people got upset for some reason.
That's understandable.
Then I stopped playing dwarfs in 9th Age, and I played trees.
Yeah, I remember your tree army.
That probably has been my favorite army of all time, was the tree army. And just for the sole quote of Gene Phelps, one player I played, going, "Oh, you're finally off dwarves, thank God." I played him once for the tree army. He's like, "You're a disgusting whore. How did you make it worse than dwarves?"
Oh, Gene, I'm sorry. I feel your pain, Gene.
Oh yeah. Well, no, then I played Empire. You remember Empire?
I remember Empire.
And the rules, about giants countercharging. That was a thing for a bit there. Yes. And then I got into the old world when it came out. I have been playing Tomb Kings.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you? You would.
Look, Kenyon, we're not going to talk about my Tomb King list. We're not going to talk about how it is arguably the most disgusting thing I could have made. I mean, what, Kenyon, who doesn't love 4 flying, thunder-stomping monsters?
Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry. We're going to get a game in soon. You're going to troll me with this list. I know it'll happen. Don't worry.
I don't know. It depends. Only if you ask to be trolled by it. This list is incredibly, incredibly vile. It's so horrifying. It doesn't help that I've got so many games with it too. I have no life. Oh God.
But beyond your Tomb Kings list, we are here to talk about our battle report, and we're going to get right into it. So, this is game 4 of the Las Vegas Open. I've had 2 small wins and 1 ginormous loss. So I'm sitting on 27 points, something like that, going into round 4.
So
my sweet spot. That's
not terrible.
My sweet spot, right in the average.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I get paired into more Beast Herds. Beast Herds on Beast Herds action. The Beast with 2 backs, part due. Yeah, it's good times. We were playing 2,000 points. We were playing flank attack.
That's diagonal, right?
No, flank attack is the one you have the center force and then the two side forces, and you choose secretly which side of the table you're doing your flanking force on. It's pretty fun. I actually really like that scenario, to be honest.
Okay.
If anyone watching is interested in my list, please click the link right above my head. It'll take you to my round 1 video where I go over my list in a little more detail. I'm not going to do it now. Let's just jump into Matthew's list. It's an interesting list. He's got the double Great Bray Shaman, so he's rocking the double Viletide. Both of them on chariots, and those are his only characters.
Okay.
Then the other distinctive thing to point out in this list is 3x3 Dragon Ogres and 2 gigantic spawns.
So, pew pew and pray that it kills you before you get there. What's he got for core? Just a bunch of Razor Gore?
Let's see.
Just birds or chariots?
He's got the obligatory gores that you have to choose. He's got
Obviously,
4 single Razor Gores and 3 single chariots. So just chaffing.
Oh, so he's running that's an interesting list. It's basically death by 1,000 cuts and pray that if it doesn't kill the characters, that you Viletide them enough so an impact it'll kill them. Interesting.
Yeah, he's double Viletiding. He's throwing those gigantic spawns of chaos into situations where he's going to hold you down. And then he's hoping to clean up with those Dragon Ogres, because Dragon Ogres are Dragon Ogres.
Of course, Dragon Ogres are Dragon Ogres.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid list. I think any Beastman list that has the double Viletide is strong.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's skewed. Like, Viletide doesn't... Hatchery Fetish is a must if you're taking Viletide.
Yeah, his general's got it, yeah.
And this I'm assuming is LVO was before they made the FAQ changes official, right? Where so you could still choose lore from like. So even with that though, Viletide has trouble dealing with monsters with stack saves. So Tomb King Dragon, potentially Chaos Dragon, definitely the High Elf Dragon.
Yes.
And God forbid anything hits those wizards, they are so cooked.
Yeah. He left them very not a lot of defense on these wizards.
Right. It makes sense. I mean, you're not playing, I presume, a shooting list, so... Because Beastman can run a real nasty shooting list, though.
I'm running double Viletide also.
Okay. So who rolls better on Viletide? Excellent.
Kind of, pretty much. This game turns into be a really interesting game. We'll get into it. I mean, that's the list, basically. It's pretty straightforward. So is my list, is a pretty straightforward. Let's jump into the actual images here. Deployment. So I had my flanking force on the left. He secretly chose flanking force on his right. So our flanking force is on the same side. Mine has my small unit of Dragon Ogres with the Shaggoth and 1 Piggy. He has a unit of Dragon Ogres with his non-general caster behind them.
Okay.
And then he's basically got the double chaos spawns right down the center, right down the middle of the board. I intentionally put my wizard bunker, which is those skirmishing gores on my side, right in front of them because I feel like they're my good target for shooting Viletide. I mean, beyond the Dragon Ogre units, but also the Dragon Ogre units get a 5-up ward save against my magic missiles.
Against magic missiles.
Yeah. Fucking Dragon Ogres.
Oh, I love fighting Dragon Ogres, but you can't run away.
Let's see here. I get first turn. I push up Viletide. I delete a unit of Dragon Ogres.
Like, just straight up. They're gone?
I'm not gonna lie. We played 2 turns later. He realized, oh, I had the ward save, and he forgot.
Oh, okay, so he didn't realize he had the ward. I'm like, how high did you roll for hits, and how many 6s did you roll?
I rolled really well because I think I had Wind Blast also, so it was Viletide, Wind Blast, plus Ruby Ring.
Okay, so you just eviscerated them. Ruby Ring, I don't think probably does much, but I mean, if you're just that is 12 wounds if I wasn't expecting that.
He comes back at me, kind of pushing forward. Oh, this is a big jump. Okay, he pushes his spawns straight at me.
Sure.
They go really far, but they don't make it into me. My turn. This is now top of 2. I have a big choice here. This is actually the most important choice of the game, so let's take a minute and talk about it. In the center, I have that triple charge which I took, which is my Gorgon, one Piggy, and my BSB on Chariot into one of his Chaos Spawn.
Sure.
My thought was, hell, that group can go through that spawn. Either I roll a 6 with the Gorgon, or that I thought there was enough there to go through him.
Okay. Did you,
and
were
then
you impact hits from the BSB? I'm assuming you're outside of the BSB.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting impact hits.
Okay.
I'm thinking, great. I think that's pretty good odds of happening. Just crunching the numbers in the moment in my head. I decide to go for it, and then I'm thinking, oh, my Gorgon's gonna overrun into the second spawn of chaos, effectively tying them both up. So I'm thinking, oh, that's great, because he put his general within 27 inches of my wizard bunker, so I'm gonna push up the wizard bunker also and Vile Tide his general.
Sure.
That was the thought process.
Now I've a couple questions for this thought process. I'm just gonna run some of my own numbers here. Okay. 1, the Gorgon only gets 1d6 overrun, correct? For
Correct.
Blood Greed?
I'm 2 inches. I'm 2 inches away.
Okay, so there is a 1 in 6 chance this will fail. That's the first thing I've noticed. 2, if you do not kill and roll the 6, that Chaos Spawn could very well live and just get combat res off a Pig and a BSB because it's AP2 on the stops. And if you don't kill, another Chaos Spawn is going to murder your entire Wizard bunker.
That's the gamble. That is the gamble.
Did I actually read the situation here?
You read it very well. Good job.
Oh, good.
Also, the thing to consider is I'm at 27 points after 3 rounds. It's time to get a little spicy in the tournament. It's time to push your luck a little bit and see if you can go up the tables or just finish the tournament at the bottom of the tables.
Sure. I'm curious to see how many of my notices are about to come true. I really am.
On the left, I take 3 long charges into his Dragon Ogre unit. Because he gives me the charge with all 3, but it's a long charge with all 3. I don't make it with the Dragon Ogres. I make it with the Shaggoth, and I make it with a Piggy.
Okay.
Probably with that, I'm going to lose the situation. But it was, again, I'm just pushing.
It depends on the Shaggoths and the Pig. I mean, you should kill one. It just depends on what he swings back at.
Yeah.
Like, odds are you kill one Dragon, or you forward between Pig, Impact Hit, and Shaggoth smacking the crap out of something. But yeah.
So, bottom of my turn 2, or not, end of top of turn 2.
Yep.
Guess what happens? I don't kill the spawn. I get it down to 1 wound.
Yep, there it is.
but I kill his wizard with Vile Tide, his general wizard.
Okay, all right, so that's pretty good.
So it's like, I took a gamble. I kind of got something out of it, but my wizard bunker is really not in a good spot now.
Right, it's not. It's because I'm assuming you did not contact his other beast, and his other beast is going to eat your. Yep, it's going to eat lunch money. Okay, it's going to eat the lunch money. Yep.
And exactly what happens. The other spawn goes right into my wizard bunker, starts chewing. He takes my chaff in the middle of the board. The combat on the left, I think one of us won by just a little bit, and the other one stuck. It's kind of whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And he swung on my Shaggoth, and I think he put all of his attacks in the Shaggoth. Mm-hmm. Brought the Shaggoth down to 1 wound. That's high. That's spiking high. It's not impossible.
It's more on the upper end of things. Now, if he killed your Shaggoth, that would have been impressive. But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, your Shaggoth. I'm assuming everyone in that combat minus the Pig had great weapons. Because
yes.
Obviously. Okay.
Yeah, because why would you not give a Dragon Ogre a great weapon?
I mean, because you have dignity and respect. No, Dragon Ogres are absolutely amazing. Like, you should, if you can take them, please take them like that.
See, the only reason I don't take Dragon Ogres is I love to flee. I love a good flee.
See, you know the better part of Valor, especially when Beastmen have insurmountable odds. You're just like, we need to not be here. We need 112% to not be here. So because we're not going to be here, screw this shit.
So that's why I like my little two-man Minotaur units. They're not quite as spicy as the Dragon Ogres, but when they need to, they can flee.
But they can get the hell out of there.
So I'm gonna breeze through the rest of the game really quickly. Yeah, I struggle. I fight. I ended up killing the first spawn, but of course the Gorgon has to continue running because he's frenzied. And then he just grinds down my wizard bunker until I think he kills it eventually, or I countercharge with my BSB in the side of it. I can't remember what happens. And then on the top left, I lose combat with the Shaggoth. Fall back, he doesn't follow up. I end up charging with 1 wound left into his wizard, and his wizard kills the Shaggoth, the last wound.
Kenyon, question for you, just something to consider. The Gorgon does have to overrun, but the turn he killed, after he overruns, you could have reformed.
Oh, these new rules, you're very right.
Okay.
And he's got leadership 9. And he's got leadership 9 also.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't care that your general is probably dead already. It's just, yeah. So, I'm like, you're right, he has to go forward, but he could turn after he's eaten something.
So it turns into a little bit of a scrum in the middle of the board. He brings in more models. Grind. I end up losing my unit.
Yep.
All that's really left is the Gorgon, and then he double charges the Gorgon.
Oh, Gorgon.
So that ends up giving me a big old 4.
It's not a 0.
It's not a 0. It's not a 0. So, lessons learned in this game. 1, you're exactly right. When I overrun, I can test to reform. I need to remember that.
Fair.
But B, there was the gamble in the middle of the board. There was the gambit in the middle of the board. And I took the spicier route. I took the riskier route. And it bit me. Bit me good.
I don't think it was that bad of a route. Like, I think you made... The only thing I would have done differently is I don't know if I would have charged the pig, because the pig is just combat res you're just kind of just throwing away. Or specifically for the pig, I would have just put the pig in front of the other Chaos Beast and solved your problems that way.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think because the pig is realistically not going to do too much to the Gorgon. Or not the Gorgon, to the Chaos Beast. The Gorgon, you're just like, please roll a 6 and just solve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And the BSB just being in there for impact help in case that's fine. But I think the pig should have just been like, I'm just gonna go run around. I mean, the pig's gonna more like fail his fear check.
Yeah, I was thinking about, man, I want to just kill that thing in one shot and overrun, and I wanted those impact hits, the D3 impact hits.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Chaos Beasts. They're very common in Beastmen because they're amazing and they're really so damn cheap. Good. They're so cheap. Especially the Nurgle ones. Oh, let me just get a free 5 up free. It doesn't matter how much I lose by. I'm going back 2 inches. Fuck you. No, like I think the Chaos Beasts are really, really good. And I'm assuming all Chaos Beasts on this board were Nurgle based, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I can go back. They were.
I'm assuming they're Nurgle based. So the odds of going through one in one round, unless the Gorgon rolls a 6, are so slim.
Yeah.
Like I have thrown 2 dragons at a Chaos Beast, going like, nope, you're still there. You're still goddamn there.
It's just like playing demons. If they hot in those 5+,
they're hot in the 5+. And toughness 6 is toughness 6 in this game is huge.
Yeah.
It is so hard to surmount toughness 6, just in general. So yeah, I was wondering. When you charge, I'm like, how likely is this to be?
I was feeling like it was. So I had, what was it? The impact hits from the chariot,
right,
plus my BSB's attacks with great weapons.
BSB, great weapon, yeah. So strength 6.
Then the impact hits from the piggy, plus the piggy attacks, plus the Gorgon stomps.
I mean, if I'm doing my own mental math correctly, assuming it has a 5 of regen save, you've got
Yeah.
maybe like a 1 in 3, maybe less to go straight through. Again,
Even-
you're really banking on the Gorgon. You're really banking on the
Yeah.
Gorgon.
Yeah, but also like probably what I should. You were exactly right. That was, even if it was a 50% chance of going through, I should have held back the pig, worked him around to chaff, and not put my wizard bunker at risk, because in my list that wizard bunker is everything.
I'm about to say what like probably about 1,000-ish points, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, you're just if I were you, I would have left his wizard alive, because he can't vile tide your swarm and kill your wizards. He's got to go through all the little goons first.
Yeah, he's got to kill
So
all
I
those.
I would have just unloaded on the chaos spawn and be like, you die now, and I don't have to worry about you till later. And then
that was the other side of the gamble. If I would have decided to play it safe, I would have moved the wizard bunker back 12 inches, then just vile tided the second, double vile tided the second.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to move back 12 inches. You just move the guy. You can probably put it in his face. Like, you have the ability to murder a spawn in your turn relatively successfully.
I think that's just as much as a gamble, right?
Provided this is a gamble. That is why we roll dice, because we are all secretly gambling addicts.
It's all of a big gamble.
It's all a big gamble.
All right, so going into game 5, I'm sitting 2-2.
On 31 points.
Yeah. At that point, I realized I am not winning this tournament, but I'm still having fun. Still had a great time. I'm in Las Vegas playing a tournament of the old world. What do I have to complain about?
Food poisoning if you got it. That only happened to me one time.
All right, Phil. Thank you so much for joining me. We need to get a game in soon. Are you going to the one-dayer at Mythicos in next month?
I don't know. What date is that?
I don't remember. But if we're going to that, I might challenge you if that's.
That's fine. I'm debating. I might go to the. Are you going to the 2-day one in April for Mythicos?
Sure, why not?
Okay, there we go. That one I'm more likely to be at. Yeah, I know the 1 day is shortly after Brawler Bash, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to jump.
Are you going to Brawler Bash?
Oh my God! You say 2,500 points of pure, unadulterated filth? Who would I be to turn down such a good time?
That's going to be a crazy tournament. 2,500 points, low comp, like not much comp.
No, not low comp, no comp. It is. You are showering with mud at that room.
It's going to be filth. That's going to be a lot of filth.
You should come down to that one, can you?
Maybe. I'll look into that. Maybe. I don't know.
You can round one challenge me for Brawler Bash. 2,500 points of filth. Let's go, baby.
I don't want to subject myself to that with you. 2,500 points of fill? No, thank you.
My 2,000 points, bad enough. My 2,500 points, it just makes you feel bad just looking at it. It's glorious.
Okay, we got to end this video. Thank you for joining me. We'll get a game in, and then we'll do the battle report of our game.
Absolutely.
If anyone's still watching after seeing Phil for 23 minutes, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.